There's so much to think about in education. You're thinking about all of your students' needs. You're thinking about all the standards that you have to address. And then another layer is simply supplies and materials. And not having what you need to address those needs can be really stressful.
A big challenge that I face as a teacher is not having enough materials. There's a standard about learning how to read a basic map, but I'm not giving any curriculum on that. The district, just says, figure it out yourself. Viewlands PTSA does feel like a partner that is bridging that gap between what is provided for me and what I actually need. The teacher grant allows me to purchase things that weren't provided for me, but they're part of the standards. So an analog clock that really helps students teach time. The teacher grant also allows me to bring in things that I would normally couldn't, like a hydroponic system so students can learn about gardening. It's been a lifesaver.
I specifically work with students that qualify to receive sensory tools and social emotional regulation books, curriculum resources. So teachers often ask me for additional sensory headphones, wiggle seats, or access to books about social emotional relationships or curriculum. And so through the partnerships with VEPTSA for teacher grants, I'm able to purchase that additional material and then allow students to have access to that school-wide. So it's phenomenal.
Theories on how kids read is shifting back to phonics, but I'm not giving any decodable books for my classroom so students can practice. The teacher grant allows me to purchase decodable books and also Lexia. So I'm able to focus on my small groups while other students who are working on Lexia during that time are getting some individual supports.
The Lexia is fun mastering levels. It teaches me words, so it makes me more confident reading a book. Mostly I learned about compound words. It's one little word and another little word split together to make it a big word. Something, classroom, lunchroom. I started at level 6 and ended at level 15.
They're really noticing their growth in reading, looking at like, oh my gosh, I was here last spring or winter, and now this is where I'm at. So the tools that VEPTSA's provided is really helping them see their learning curve increase. VEPTSA has been really great with partnering with the school for students that their unique talents might not be appreciated or understood. So they're given opportunities through dance or music or art.
Having supplies for hands-on activities is incredibly important for students, especially if their strength isn't in academics. So they get to shine in different ways with this grant money. 10 years ago, education was completely different in the resources that we had. And as I've seen VESPA grow and fill those gaps, we've had more enrichment opportunities, different types of learning that students can have access to, different parts of their brain, different parts of their soul.
I really enjoy field trips. I get to get out of school and I get to learn something new, going someplace I've never gone before, experiencing new things.
At the Brightwater Treatment Center, I learned that water isn't just dirty if it has like a bunch of dirt in it. Specifically for animals, don't drink it.
We got to collect samples of water and we got to experiment with different types of materials to clean water.
In that mud, there are insects and bugs.
So we declared that the water at Brightwater was clean. It is very good for the environment.
This grant allowed us to bring a new dimension into our learning experience, talking about the labor movements. We read books, we look at movies, we have discussions, but it was missing something. So through a VESPA grant, we brought in living voices, which gave students a first-person experience with the labor movement. This woman came to speak to us about being part of the labor movement as a child, and she's telling her story. And a student turned to their friend next to them and said, "That was the coolest thing I have ever seen." And it was just so joyful to see them experience the joy, and it just brings it to us as educators too.
One activity that made me feel excited about was the after-school enrichment classes. There's many different types. Some of them are all grade level, so you can hang out with friends even if they aren't in your class or grade.
I have one student who has had a really hard time. I knew that he could really benefit from an enrichment program. I've seen so much excitement in him on those days that he gets to go to the enrichment. The scholarship for the enrichment program has really helped. I'm very thankful for those.
Community matters, partnership matters. When we connect with our school, with our teachers, with the families in the community, it shows up with the kids' education. You can see it in the way that they communicate with each other. You can see it in the way that they come to school feeling known in a different way. That's really special.
One of the benefits of joining VEPTSA is it gives you the opportunity to meet other families and then come to events, and then you can become connected, to have a collective voice, enabling what extracurricular activities students can do.
Get involved any way you can. Go to a meeting, volunteer an hour. It really does make a big impact.
Thank you so much, Viewlands community and Viewlands PTSA, for all that you do.
Thank you, VEPTSA.
Thank you, VEPTSA, for everything you do.
Thank you,
VEPTSA.
VEPTSA. It's a big school and the funnest school and the funnest principal.